Dr. Sarah Mitchell had been working with the same financial advisor for 6 years. He was friendly. He remembered her kids' names. He called every quarter. In year 7, she hired a fee-only advisor to review her portfolio. The new advisor spent 2 hours going through her accounts. Then he showed her a spreadsheet. In 6 years, her advisor had collected approximately $44,000 in commissions and fees from the products in her portfolio. Her actual investment return over that same period was 3.2% annually. The S&P 500 returned 12.4%. She hadn't been robbed. Everything was legal. Her advisor had simply built a portfolio that worked very well for him. Today we're going to talk about exactly how that happens and how to make sure it isn't happening to you. Most physicians assume their financial advisor is working in their best interest. That assumption is often wrong, not because advisors are dishonest, but because of how the financial advisory industry is structured. There are two fundamentally different types of financial advisors. The first operates under a fiduciary standard, legally required to act in your best interest at all times. The second operates under a suitability standard, only required to recommend products that are suitable for you, not necessarily the best option available. The difference sounds subtle. It isn't. A fiduciary advisor cannot recommend a mutual fund with a 1.2% expense ratio if a nearly identical fund exists with a 0.05% expense ratio. A suitability advisor can, as long as the expensive fund isn't technically inappropriate for your situation. Here's the problem. The majority of financial advisors in America operate under the suitability standard, and many of those advisors earn their income through commissions on the products they sell, which means the products that pay them the most are the ones most likely to be recommended. Physicians are ideal clients for commission-based advisors. High income, busy, trusting, and typically not trained to scrutinize financial product structures. Let's understand how advisor compensation actually works. There are three primary models. The first is commission-based. The advisor earns a percentage of every product they sell you. Whole life insurance, 50 to 100% of first-year premium. Annuities, 5 to 8% of the amount invested. Actively managed mutual funds, upfront load of 3 to 5%, plus ongoing trailing commissions of 0.25 to 1% annually. In this model, the advisor's income is directly tied to what they sell you, not to how your portfolio performs. The second model is assets under management, AUM. The advisor charges a percentage of your total portfolio, typically 0.5 to 1.5% annually. This aligns incentives better. When your portfolio grows, they earn more. But it still creates pressure to keep your assets with them rather than directing money toward paying down debt, buying real estate, or other strategies that reduce AUM. The third model is fee-only. The advisor charges a flat fee or hourly rate, no commissions, no percentage of assets. Their income is completely independent of what products you buy or how large your portfolio is. This is the only model with no structural conflict of interest. The financial industry spends significant resources blurring these distinctions. Advisors who earn commissions often use titles like wealth manager, financial consultant, or financial planner, titles that imply fiduciary responsibility without the legal obligation. Only the specific term fiduciary carries legal weight. Let's run the numbers on what advisor structure actually costs over a career. Two physicians, both 35 years old, both invest $5,000 a month. Both plan to retire at 65. Physician A works with a commission-based advisor. Her portfolio consists of actively managed mutual funds with an average expense ratio of 1.1%, plus advisor trailing commissions of 0.5%. Total annual cost, 1.6% of assets. Physician B works with a fee-only advisor. Flat fee, $6,000 a year. His portfolio consists of low-cost index funds with an average expense ratio of 0.05%. Both achieve the same gross return, 8% annually before fees. After 30 years, Physician A's portfolio, approximately $4.8 million. Physician B's portfolio, approximately $6.1 million. $1.3 million difference. Same income, same monthly investment, same market return. The only variable was the cost of advice. Now let's talk about specific products. There are 4 products commonly recommended to physicians that disproportionately benefit the advisor. First, variable annuities, sold as tax-advantaged growth vehicles. Reality, high fees, surrender charges of 7 to 10% if you exit early, and tax treatment that is only beneficial in very specific circumstances. Commission to advisor, 5 to 8%. Second, actively managed mutual funds with front-end loads. The load, a sales charge, is deducted immediately from your investment. A 5% load on $100,000 means $5,000 goes to the advisor before your money is even invested. The fund then needs to outperform index funds by enough to justify its expense ratio, which most actively managed funds fail to do over 10-year periods. Third, indexed universal life insurance, marketed as insurance plus tax-free retirement income. Reality, complex fee structures, caps on market participation, and illustrations that use best-case assumptions. Commission, among the highest in financial products. Fourth, non-traded REITs, illiquid real estate investments with high upfront commissions of 7 to 10% and limited ability to exit. Sold as stable income, but the lack of liquidity means you cannot access your money if circumstances change. Here is exactly what to do. Step 1. Find out how your advisor is compensated. Ask directly, are you a fiduciary at all times? How do you earn your income? Do you receive commissions on any products you recommend? A fiduciary advisor will answer these questions without hesitation. If the answer is vague or uncomfortable, that is your answer. Step 2. Audit your current portfolio. List every product you own. For each one, find the expense ratio, any surrender charges, and whether your advisor received a commission when you purchased it. This information is in your prospectus and account statements. Step 3. Find a fee-only fiduciary. NAPFA, the National Association of Personal Financial Advisors, has a directory of fee-only advisors. The Garrett Planning Network specializes in advisors who work with professionals on an hourly basis. These are starting points. Step 4. Understand that changing advisors is not disloyal. Your advisor is a professional service provider. If a surgeon was performing unnecessary procedures and billing you accordingly, you would change surgeons. The same logic applies. The goal is not to find an advisor who never makes money. The goal is to find an advisor whose financial incentives are aligned with yours, so that when they recommend something, you know the recommendation exists because it benefits your portfolio, not their income. Dr. Mitchell moved her portfolio. It took 3 months and cost her some surrender charges on the annuity she owned. The fee-only advisor she hired cost $7,000 that first year. Over the following decade, the difference in returns and fees more than covered every cost of the transition. Sometimes the most expensive decision you make is staying with the wrong advisor. Next video, the non-compete clause in your employment contract, and the physician who couldn't practice medicine within 30 miles of his home for 2 years. Subscribe. Every video on this channel is a financial gap your advisor, your employer, or your broker never explained. I'll see you in the next one.